Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. I hope you all are well. Sony announces 2023 TV lineup and an incredibly bright QD OLED leads the charge, but it's mostly modest upgrades everywhere else. Sony is putting a bigger emphasis on eco-friendly settings and introducing a new gaming menu. After making the unusual decision to wait until after CES to announce its latest TVs, Sony is finally introducing the 2023 lineup of Bravia sets. The new lineup includes a wickedly bright QD OLED at the top of the pile. But this is otherwise mostly a year of iterative refinement and modest improvements. Several of the TV models have gained more dimming zones and slight brightness improvements compared to the sets from last year that they will be replacing. As always, image processing is being positioned as a major draw for Sony's TV portfolio. The company is as confident as ever that its cognitive processor XR is what makes Sony TVs stand out from the field in the way they handle challenging scenes. New this year is a feature called XR Clear Image, which adapts picture adjustments based on the quality of the source material. If it's genuine 4K content from a streaming service or Ultra HD Blu-ray disc, the TV won't mess with the image much. But Sony says its system is smart enough to detect HD video, even in cases where the TV is getting a 4K signal, and it will add extra refinement to the image processing while preserving elements like film grain and being respectful of creator intent. All of Sony's 2023 TVs continue to run Google TV as their operating system. The software has a content-forward interface and supports features from Apple AirPlay to HomeKit and Amazon Alexa on top of the build in Google services like Assistant Voice Search. All of these TVs are capable of 4K gaming at 120Hz, though they are still limited to 2 HDMI 2.1 ports. The other two remain stuck at HDMI 2.0. Sony continues to offer deep integration with the PlayStation 5, but there are new gaming software features that also extend to Xbox. Let's start with the entry-level model and work our way up. The X90L is a full-array local dimming LED set designed to offer compelling performance for its price. This year, Sony has switched from a plastic bezel to an aluminum finish, depending on which size you choose. The X90L will include up to 60% more local dimming zones and 30% higher peak brightness compared to its predecessor. The 98-inch X90L offers the biggest maximum screen size of anything in Sony's new line. Moving up from there, we get the A80L OLED, which now comes in an 83-inch size on top of the display sizes offered with last year's cheaper Sony OLED. The upgrades here are minor. The company says you can expect 10% brighter performance and slightly better dialogue clarity due to improved filters. But overall, it's very similar to last year's 80K WRGB OLED TV. You can consider this new model a rival to LG's C2 and now the C3. It's the QD OLED A95L that winged up as Sony's most impressive TV this year. The A95K was widely considered to be the top 4K OLED of 2022, so the pressure's on. Like the Samsung S95C, it will compete against the A95L comes in 77-inch, 65-inch and 55-inch sizes. That means it's certainly using the same second-generation Samsung display QD OLED panel that promises up to 200% better peak brightness when compared to the previous A95K. And the big benefit of QD OLED is that the brightness ramp also applies to color luminosity. This is the year that high-end OLEDs will finally be right at home in bright rooms. But Sony is still making premium mini LED sets as well. Despite having a lower number in the name, the new X93L mini LED TV replaces 2022's X95K model. Sony describes it as very similar in overall performance. It will come in 85, 77 and 65-inch sizes. And now the company is adding second mini LED set above it with approximately 20% more local dimming zones to reduce any perceptible blooming. but that model, the X95L, will only be made available in an 85-inch version. Everyone wants to help the earth, right? Now we are getting Sony's approach. The Eco Dashboard is a central hub accessible from the home screen that encourages customers to be eco-conscious and mindful of settings that draw more power. As you enable eco-friendly options, the tree grows. If you turn them off, the tree shades that green and will appear bare. All of these settings are still found in the usual menus, but Sony wanted to put them together in one place. Sony joins the game menu train, just like Samsung, LG, Hisense and others. Sony will now display a settings menu tailored to gaming instead of making you dig through the normal screens. Sony's implementation lets you toggle VRR, motion blur reduction, black equalizer, contrast adjustments, and a persistent on-screen crosshair. There will also be an option to adjust the screen size of your game if you want a smaller window on a large size TV for whatever reason. Unfortunately, Sony's game menu doesn't display the current live frame rate. That's data point that some people will like having access to. So unfortunately, Sony's game menu doesn't display the current live frame rate. That's a data point that some people like having access to, so they can easily monitor performance. But with this, you just get the current resolution and maximum frame rate. Sony isn't sharing pricing for any of the new Bravia XR TVs just yet, but with competitors already shipping out their 2023 lines. Back at CES, most of the big TV makers like LG and Samsung announced their upcoming high-end TVs, but one major company was missing, Sony, Now it's finally ready to show off its latest flagship sets, and after getting a chance to see them in person, I can say it was worth the wait. Sony's 2023 line of Bravia XR TVs are all powered by the company's Cognitive XR. That means they share the same underlying tech and processing, including support for stuff like Sony's XR Clear Image Tech, which allows for adaptive noise reduction, auto HDR tone mapping, and more. For 2023, Sony is trying to take as much of the guesswork out of setup as possible by making its TV look great right out of the box in the standard video or cinematic modes. That means you shouldn't have to fuss around with various settings or need to get your TV professionally calibrated. Granted, calibration is still the way to go if you want to get the very best image quality, but for people who don't have a colorimeter at home or don't want to pay someone else to do it, which think is pretty much everyone, this is a welcome upgrade. Sony has also made a few design tweaks, including new tweeters that are built into the frame of select models. While you can't really see them, they help deliver richer and more expansive audio, particularly when paired with one of the company's high-end soundbars with center sync audio. Sony is also introducing an updated stand for most of its new sets, which allows for a bit more flexibility when trying to accommodate external speakers and soundbars. Finally, Sony also added new gaming and eco dashboard, so it's easier to find and adjust various settings. For gaming, you have options like VRR, motion blur reduction, and more. And for FPS fanatics, there's even a setting for adding a permanent crosshair to the middle of the screen, complete with various reticle choices. Alternatively, the Eco Dashboard includes a simple walkthrough to help you choose power-saving settings, including a happy little tree that grows when you do things like reduce the brightness or enable shorter idle power of times. So that's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. Thanks for watching.